This is my RX-7 wheel, and these are my RX-7 wheels for the RX-7 that I don't own. This is a hollow spoke FD wheel, well, wheel and tire in this case. And this is for my Miata. These hollow spoke wheels are a great upgrade for NCs. Same bolt pattern, very lightweight. The only issue is they're an inch smaller, so you can't use them with big brake kit. Got these from a fellow local NC owner with lightly loved RE71Rs already on them. So these will be a great upgrade to my car. The only problem is I don't like black. These have been plastied black, and I've always wanted bronze wheels, so I figured let's make that happen. So what we have here, kind of like the multiple stages of getting the Plastidip off of these, you know, we've got an untouched wheel, we've got one where we've peeled off all the super easy to get to stuff, and then on these, I'm spraying them down with what was recommended to me by Watch JR Go. It's this Gugon Automotive, but unlike him, I do not have access to a pressure washer, so I'm just using shop towels, and it's actually working really rather well. The Gugon just reduces it to a goo, which you can then gone, and it just comes right off pretty much. It's kind of gross and a little time consuming, but hopefully we can get all 4 of these done and have these wheels painted and on the car by the end of the weekend. So here's one of them that's done. It looks pretty good. There's just a little few bits down there in the wells, but you're not really going to see those. And it looks like the actual paint, the silver paint, just kind of came off of these center caps with the Plastidip, but that's no biggie. Finish looks pretty nice. There's no real curb rash or anything on these wheels, which is pretty neat. But in typical Jake fashion, something had to go wrong, and look at that. Yeah, you're not patching that. So I'll have to order another tire, and this video will probably be delayed a bit. I guess I could still paint this. Still paint it and put it on the car for some beauty shots, or just put one side on. Might do that, not sure. This one's about 99% of the way there, and just about to get started using the Gugon on this one. Still got about the majority of this left, so that's pretty nice. The simple 5-spoke design actually isn't that bad to work with. I mean, there's no super tight nooks and crannies that you can't really get your fingers in. So yeah, the most annoying part is the actual rim here, because the buildup is pretty large and it's just difficult. But you know, these are all looking pretty great. Just gonna give them a quick wipe off with alcohol. I wish I could wipe off how much my knees hurt right now. And then it's dinner time, so we're gonna go get some tasty foods, and I'll get these painted tomorrow. Check this out. Michaela got one of the center caps off in pretty much one piece. That's pretty neat. It's an absolutely gorgeous spring morning here in Kansas. The wheels have been sitting out. I'm gonna give them one final wipe off with some alcohol just to make sure there's no contaminants on the surface that could affect the finish. And then we're gonna give them a few coats of paint. What we're using here is Duplicolor wheel coating. I'm not sure what wheel coating means, but as near as I can tell, this is acrylic enamel, and it probably just is formulated more for durability than it is gloss. Regular single stage paints are probably prioritizing a glossier finish over being really hard wearing, but wheels are subject to a lot of abuse, so I bet this stuff sets up real hard. And, I'm just going to use the note card method of masking, since there's really no wind out here. I don't think I'll need any masking tape. Should be a good time. Prepped and masked, and I actually wiped down all the other wheels as well. This is the most prep work I've ever put into painting wheels. Last time I did this, I just kind of hosed them off with a hose and then hit them with some paint with little bits of plastic still attached, and actually it lasted quite a while. So I fully expect this to be absolute trash and fail horrendously, because for whatever reason results are inversely proportional to effort. I don't know how that works, but the spray can, oh, I gotta mask off my my filler, my what is that even called? Valve stem. I need to mask off my valve stem. The paint says to do light coats, presumably because it's metallic. It has a whole bunch of solvent in it and it's very runny. So I think I'm gonna hit this with about 4 very light coats, 4 or 5, and we'll see how that does. Gotta say, I'm a bigly fan of how this turned out. Just laid down one more coat for good times. The hard part was getting the sides of the spokes, because you can't really get very close to it. You know, you want to be 6 to 12 inches away, and it was just really hard to get good coverage there, but I think that looks pretty good. That's a nice shade. The only problem that I had, where was it? Right here. Looks like there was a little bit of a reaction with some sort of solvent left on there or something like that, but that's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not building a show car here. I've just always wanted a car with wheels roughly this color, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with the shade. So I'm gonna give these a few more minutes to air out, and then take the cards off and stick them in the shop to dry for a few hours. Take a look at that. Would you just look at it? Blue and bronze living in perfect harmony. That is so meaty. Yeah, that looks like a car that's ready to put in some work. And look at these offsets. That's pretty much flush. Looks great. It's actually poking slightly at the front, which is, oh, whatever. It just looks a lot more purposeful. I always thought it looked super goofy that these cars had these big, angry, balled up fist fender flares, but this sort of offset. What? Where's the wheel? Oh, there it is. Cool, thanks. It's like an inch inside there. It's just as bad up at the front. Look at this garbage. Mazda, what are you doing? Look at this. It's terrible. It looks so limp-wristed. Ugh. And then you move over here. Yes. So good. There's so much tire you can see up from the front. Absolutely cannot wait to get 4 of these on here. Yes. Yes, indeed. And what are these tires, actually? These are, oops. Get out of there. 225s compared to, what are these, 205s? Huh? Yeah, 205 Pilot Sport AS3 Pluses. So, you know, not an enormous difference in tire width, but sticky and meaty looking and significantly lighter. I mean, comparing this, oh hey, that's heavier than I remember actually, to this guy over here, it's no contest. It's very difficult to do any of that with one hand, but take my word for it, these weigh nothing in comparison to those. So I should have a smoother ride and better, more compliant suspension control. Unsprung weight is a very big deal on uneven surfaces, especially like the roads around my house. And it's better for everything, you know, lightness helps everything. It helps comfort, it helps handling. You know, you've got less weight that the suspension has to control. There's less inertia when it hits a bump and tries to continue up even after the bump is already leveled back out again. That's gonna be really something. Next week, I'll probably give an update on this when I have the new tire on there and I'm able to put all 4 of these on here and drive it. But for now, that's all I got for you guys. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe. Thanks for watching.